Welcome back to the Crypto channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is breaking into new record all-time highs. We've just crossed over $122,000 per Bitcoin as the price continues this massive bullish breakout from the bullish price pattern, while a short squeeze is beginning to play out here in the short term, and more bullish momentum is building on this Bitcoin price chart, which I'll talk about in just a moment, alongside the price of Ethereum versus Bitcoin, still struggling from this major level of resistance, seeing a short-term rejection here, while the price of XRP is now testing this major area of resistance, potentially getting ready for the next major move. So I'll be talking about all of that and more later in the video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, starting off on the weekly Bitcoin price chart, and the super trend indicator is still sitting in the green, indicating a larger bull market. And on this weekly Bitcoin price chart, we still have a possible bearish divergence forming right now, with higher highs in the price and lower highs in the weekly RSI, but not currently confirmed, not in play. So once again, still overall looking very bullish in a bull market. And on this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, obviously just a few days ago, we confirmed a bullish crossover in the 3-day Bitcoin MACD. And ever since that bullish crossover, obviously we've seen more bullish momentum, which is what I've been talking about over the last half a week or so. And if we're simply looking at the last couple of times we confirmed a bullish crossover in this 3-day Bitcoin MACD, obviously based on these previous examples, we saw much more bullish price action over the next few weeks, if not months, for the price of Bitcoin. And remember, this only confirmed just a few days ago, which means we're most likely going to see a lot more bullish price action to come over the next few weeks or possibly months. And if we're taking a look at this 3-day Bitcoin price chart, obviously we've already well and truly confirmed the breakout here for this bullish cup and handle pattern, setting up a massive bullish price target. And that bullish price target is sitting at approximately $153,000 per Bitcoin. And so from where we are right now, as of recording this video, to that price target, that's roughly around a 25% move towards the upside still to go from where we are right now, or from this first confirmation signal, the first 3-day candle close, that was potentially around a 30% move. Or if you open a trade right at the breakout level to that price target, that's almost a 40% move towards that price target. And so obviously there's some massive opportunities here in the market. I've been saying this over and over again over the last few days, ever since we confirmed this breakout right here. That was the signal to start longing Bitcoin and basically flip much more bullish and expect these much larger price targets. And so as always, I put my money where my mouth is. I am still in that Bitcoin long position, which I've already been sharing since this breakout right here. And I'm looking to take this trade basically ideally all the way towards this price target, but potentially along the way at some points of resistance, I may end up slightly reducing the size of the trade, just taking a little bit of profits off the table here and there, leading up to the price target, just in case we don't actually hit the price target. Sometimes that happens, but obviously right now we're looking very bullish. We're just now breaking out into new all-time highs with a lot of bullish momentum backing up this bullish trend. So overall, once again, I'm long on the price of Bitcoin, expecting more bullish price action as a very likely scenario in the coming days, weeks, if not months. And personally, I've just moved my stop loss slightly above my entry price, so that in the worst case scenario, even if the price just crashed for whatever reason, that would hit my stop loss now and close the trade automatically in some slight profit. So essentially for my position, it's essentially now a risk-free trade, because all of the risk for the trade was when I was opening the trade. But then once you have your stop loss basically above your entry price, in the case of a long position, essentially the worst case scenario is you're still making money. And so if you haven't already, make sure you get set up ready to go on a crypto exchange to actually take advantage of these massive opportunities which are just now showing up in the market. And personally, I'm taking this Bitcoin trade over on BTNX, so I'll make sure to leave a link to BTNX below this video in the description and in the pinned comment. And if you use that link, it'll take you to this sign up page right here where you can claim some massive bonuses. So for example, you can actually claim deposit bonuses. If you deposit just $1,000, you get a $200 bonus into your BTNX account, basically free money that you can trade with. And then for the larger traders out there, you can also get up to $40,000 in trading bonuses just by trading crypto. So if you're going to be trading crypto anyway, or preparing to take the next trading opportunity, you might as well get set up ready to go over here. The first link below this video, once again, to take advantage of these major bonuses. And essentially you can get a risk-free trade. For example, you can deposit $1,000, use the $200 bonus without even using your own money. So you might as well do it. Once again, first link below this video. And in case you're wondering, BTNX is a no KYC exchange, which means you can access it from basically any country in the world without needing any KYC. But as always, check your local regulations when it comes to trading crypto. And for whatever reason, if you don't want Bitnex as an exchange, there's also 2bit as another option out there, another exchange that I also trade on. So I'll also make sure to leave a link to 2bit below this video. And if you use that link, you can also get some massive trading bonuses over there. And in case you're wondering, 2bit is also a no KYC exchange. But with that being said, taking a look at this daily Bitcoin price chart, and as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is now actually breaking through the 1618 Fibonacci extension level, which was sitting at roughly around just above 121,000. And now, technically speaking, ideally we need to see this daily candle close actually confirm above 121 to 122,000 to technically confirm this breakout here. So there's still a possibility we could find maybe a little bit of resistance around here, a slight little struggle, but obviously if we confirm the breakout, we're simply just continuing the larger bullish trend. Once again, as I've been saying many times here on the channel, the trend is bullish, the momentum is bullish. We've activated these much larger price targets. So if we're simply breaking through this resistance here, or this level on the price chart, this Fibonacci level at 121 to 122,000, basically just continue targeting these much higher levels. And as for support, I would expect previous resistance to flip into new support. So at certain points on the chart where we started to struggle a little bit, or key Fibonacci levels, basically expect support at those levels, if of course those levels are below the current price. And if we're zooming further into the short term, taking a look at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that over the last few days or so, obviously we first of all saw that major bullish move here, and then we saw a bit of a short-term cool-off for around 1 to 2 days, give or take, to reset the RSI. As we can see, we got extremely overbought in the smaller time frames, the short-term RSI, the 4-hour RSI, as we can see, extremely overbought, telling us that we need some time to cool off just to reset the RSI, and that's exactly what we saw. Obviously, a lot of sideways price action, and yes, neutral price action can help to reset the RSI. And now, obviously, we did not end up resetting all the way back down towards the 50 level in the RSI, all the way back down towards the exact neutral level. But with that being said, we basically left the overbought territories for a very, very small amount of time, as we can see, giving us a little bit more room towards the upside. And then ultimately, the price has now used that room towards the upside with another push towards the upside in the price of Bitcoin. But obviously, this now means that we're back in overbought territories in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI. But we have to understand that, of course, we have a lot of momentum in the market. And as always, the larger time frames are actually more important than the smaller time frames. So keep in mind, yes, from time to time, we can see little cool-offs and things like that. So if, for example, we see something similar over the next 1 or 2 days, a slight cool-off, just don't be surprised. Obviously, that's very normal price action. But overall, the trend, the momentum, still looking very, very bullish. And if we're taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, obviously, over the last 1 day, we've now exactly wiped out the liquidity that I've been targeting over the last few days here on the channel, which was sitting at around 119 to 120,000, give or take. And obviously, when the price was below that level, I said it's extremely likely that very soon we're going to see another little short squeeze, another push towards the upside to take out that liquidity and get ready to break out into new all-time highs. I've been saying that over the last few days, and now that is exactly played out as I've been saying. And so essentially, a bunch of short positions, bearish traders out there got liquidated. They got wiped out of the market. And when a short position gets liquidated, that adds buying pressure to the market, adds buying pressure to the price of Bitcoin, which pushes the price higher, liquidating more short positions, pushing the price higher, and so on. That's what a short squeeze is. So that's basically what we're seeing right now. A bunch of shorts are getting completely wiped out in the market, while the longs are making a bunch of money. And that's why I've been saying over the last half a week, this is the time to long Bitcoin, as I have been doing. And once again, if you want to take those sort of trades, check out the links below this video to those exchanges to claim those massive bonuses. And once again, the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, now that we've actually wiped out that liquidity, we don't really have any significant levels of liquidity, at least in the immediate short term, that's relatively close to the price of Bitcoin. So basically, we're just waiting for this to actually mature, to build some more liquidity here. And so obviously, I'll keep you up to date on what's happening in the Bitcoin liquidation heat map over the next few days as potentially new levels of liquidity begin to build. But overall, we're simply just bullish for the price of Bitcoin, obviously, with a lot of momentum towards the upside, targeting these much higher prices. And if we're taking a look at the price of Ethereum on the daily time frame, right now, Ethereum is continuing the bullish breakout from this massive, significant area of resistance sitting in between around 2.7k to 2.8k. So I'll now expect support in that area if for whatever reason we saw a bit of a pullback. And as for the next resistance, we are still running into a bit of resistance in between around 3,000 to 3050. So in that range, just above 3,000, we do have a bit of short-term resistance around there, as I've already been saying here on the channel. But then above that, we have some more resistance at roughly 3250. So in between between around 3.2k to 3.3k, and then once we start breaking out ideally above 3.3k, it's extremely likely it will just head back up towards some of these highs that we set back near the end of 2024. And clearly the price structure, the trends, the momentum is all very bullish right now for Ethereum. As always, Ethereum follows very similar price action to whatever Bitcoin is doing. So if Bitcoin is of course in a major bullish trend right now, Ethereum is likely going to play out something similar. And if we're taking a look at the 2-day time frame, the 2-day Ethereum price chart, at least for now, we do have a possible bearish divergence still flashing with higher highs in the price and lower highs in the RSI forming, but not confirmed. And so this is just something to pay attention to in case it ends up confirming. But once again, right now, considering it's not confirmed, it is not in play. So nothing to really act on right now, just something to pay attention to. And if we're taking a look at the Ethereum versus Bitcoin charts on the daily time frame, this is ETH BTC. We can see that right now, obviously, we're continuing the rejection from this significant area of resistance that I've already been warning about over the last half a week since before we saw the perfect rejection here. And so obviously around a week ago, right down here, I said it's most likely that just over the next 1 or 2 days, we're going to outperform Bitcoin. So Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin just for maybe 1 or 2 days. And then at this resistance, I said, expect the price to struggle here and expect Ethereum to underperform Bitcoin for the next few days. And over the last few days, that's exactly what's played out once again. And this could likely continue maybe for another 1 or 2 days. Just in the immediate short term, expect a little bit more of a rejection, just a slight little pullback on the ETH BTC chart, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, considering this is significant resistance for the price. And so what this actually means in real terms is that Ethereum is simply underperforming Bitcoin, but not necessarily bearish. It's not bearish for Ethereum against the US dollar, just bearish in the immediate short term for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So essentially, if Bitcoin has a major bullish move like this, Ethereum can still play out a bullish move, just maybe not as much of a bullish move as what Bitcoin played out. And so basically, while we're seeing this rejection from this resistance on the ETH BTC chart, at least as of right now, not financial advice, it makes more sense to hold Bitcoin over Ethereum, considering Ethereum is slightly underperforming Bitcoin. But of course, if we finally break through this area, at that point, that would be a significant change in price structure for ETH BTC, Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And so at that point onwards, if we actually first confirm a breakout here, it would make more sense to hold Ethereum over Bitcoin. Once again, not financial advice. And if we're taking a look at the price of Solana on the daily time frame, Solana is once again retesting this major level of resistance, still sitting at around $167, give or take. So at least for now, continue to expect a bit of struggle and possibly rejections from that level. But if we can finally confirm a breakout with ideally a daily candle close above 167 and holding that as new support, in that situation, expect a continued move up towards around 180 to 185 as a very likely scenario. And that if we break through 185, obviously we have this golden pocket here in between around 191 to 199, and then above that we could target much higher prices like $230. And as for short-term support, if we were to see another little rejection here, expect some support at around 155 to 156 and major support in between 143 to 146 if we were to actually get to those levels. And if we're taking a look at the shorter term on the 8-hour time frame, obviously just over the last few days, we confirmed the breakout for the bullish cup and handle pattern, and then we saw a retest of the previous neckline, the previous level of resistance, which is now officially confirmed as new support, which is bullish price structure and an extra confirmation signal to confirm the breakout and confirm the pattern. And ever since that retest here, that bounce from this previous resistance flipping into new support, obviously we've seen a continued short-term bounce, which is very good to see for the price of Solana, because if we were to see candle closes back below this level of resistance, now support sitting at around 158, if we break back below 158, that would be very bearish, at least in the short term for the price of Solana, because that would invalidate this price pattern and we could likely retest some of those levels of support that I just mentioned earlier. But once again, at least for now, we're still looking very bullish, considering we have confirmed the breakout for this cup and handle pattern, which means the price target is still in play, sitting at around $194 to $195. But obviously between now and then, we have resistance along the way to keep in mind. And obviously right now, alongside Bitcoin playing out a bullish move, Solana could likely play out a continued bullish move. And if we're taking a look at the price of XRP on the daily time frame, XRP is just now potentially starting to break out above this major Fibonacci level, which is sitting at around $2.90, but really in between around $2.80 to $3. We have a decent area of resistance there, as we can see. But if we ideally confirm a daily candle close above $3, it's extremely likely we would continue a bullish move towards the all-time high at around $3.40. And if, of course, we confirm the breakout here, I'd expect previous resistance to flip into new support. And right now, we also have a lot of support down here at the golden pocket in between around 255 to 262 approximately. And clearly, the trend and momentum for the price of XRP is extremely bullish right now. And so overall, expect more bullish price action moving forward over the next few days or weeks as a very likely scenario. And of course, from time to time, it is normal to see slight little cool-offs here and there in the smaller timeframes in the short term. So if we see one of those little cool-offs on the smaller timeframes, don't be scared, don't be worried, because that is very normal for the price, even during these major bullish moves. But right now, once again, on the daily timeframe, the price is basically in a straight line towards the upside, which is actually normal for the price of XRP. And if we're taking a look at the price of Chainlink on the daily timeframe, Chainlink has also just now confirmed a daily candle close above $15.50 over the last one day, which is now very significant. This is a major change in price structure because we've just confirmed a breakout above very significant resistance, targeting the next point of resistance now, which is sitting at around 1640 to 1650. And if we break through this level, then I'll be targeting this local high back here at around $17.50 to $18 as the next major target. And obviously, even before we broke through this golden pocket here, we were already trending in the bullish direction. We were already building a lot of bullish momentum, but this massive change in price structure, breaking through significant resistance, this is yet another significant change in momentum, basically a change in the price structure, increasing the bullish momentum, increasing the bullish trend for the price, because we could see that during this bullish trend here, we did see a bit of a short-term struggle around this resistance, but considering we broke through this significant area of resistance just over the last one day, this means that obviously we've already surpassed that level, so it's going to be much easier for the price to head towards the upside and continue the bullish momentum, the bullish trend. And I'll now expect support in this area in between around 1530 to 1550 if we were to see some sort of pullback here. And in the immediate short term, looking at the 4-hour time frame, it is worth pointing out a possible bearish divergence which is currently forming but not yet confirmed, because we have higher highs in the price and lower highs in the 4-hour Chainlink RSI. But once again, this is not yet currently confirmed, it's not in play. And if it does end up confirming, maybe in the next few hours or so, we could end up seeing just a little bit of a short-term cool-off, so either some choppy sideways price action or a slight little pullback in the price for most likely just a few days or so, and then potentially continue the trend later on. So basically, that would be a likely scenario if we first confirm this bearish divergence. But right now, because we've not yet confirmed the bearish divergence, we're simply just looking bullish. The trend is still very much bullish and the momentum is bullish. And once again, if you want to get set up ready to go to take these trading opportunities in the price of any crypto, get set up ready to go using the links below this video to those exchanges if you want to claim those massive bonuses that are only available using those links. And if you want to actually know how you can trade crypto no matter what the price is doing, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how you can profit from bullish or bearish price action using long positions or short positions, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit during choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.